Hello, and let me start by saying thank you for listening to the Calm Mum Show podcast. I'm your host Lorraine Walker, a cognitive behavioural hypnotherapist, child educator and mindset coach, and I'll be bringing you tiny 10-minute episodes, injecting some TLC to you mums out there to help shift your mindset if you're stuck, help you rein in your inner momzilla and unleash your calmer mama. I hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Calm Mum Show. This episode is people pleasing or the lovable doormat. Do you find yourself putting the needs of others before yours? Do you find yourself saying yes when you really mean no? Do you struggle to say no when you're face to face with the person that's asking you either to do something or to go somewhere? Do you find it easier to say no by text or over the phone? Do you feel uncomfortable agreeing to something but you struggle to say, actually, I'm not really interested in doing that, or no thanks, that's not my cup of tea? Are you in a friendship group and you don't want to be the odd one out, so you either go along with your friends' opinions or gossip and don't speak up for yourself because you don't want to be seen as different? Do you allow family, friends, work colleagues to put on you to the point where you change your own plans just to keep everybody happy? I mean, I've done that myself, and sometimes there will be times when it might be essential to step in and help others, but not all the time. If you do that all the time, it pushes you into a feeling like the lovable doormat. You know, that person that's always pleasing everybody else, that ends up leaving you feeling undervalued and overwhelmed, and then going home and questioning yourself and saying, why did I not just say no? Why do I keep saying yes when I know I don't want to do that? And why am I agreeing with those conversations and opinions when I don't agree? This is people pleasing behaviour. So if you can start looking inward and recognising if you do any of these things. Maybe you have a significant other, you know, that special person in your life who has learned to take you for granted, or learned to expect that you'll just go along with anything anyway, won't you? Because you're just such a lovely doormat that you'll just agree to anything. And you'll make sure that their needs and wants are way above yours. And they learn that you'll just go along with it, so they have absolutely no regard for your needs and wants. Do you feel anxious because other people's opinions don't resonate with your core values, but you just want to be seen as keeping everyone happy? And then if you do pluck up the courage to disagree or say no, you end up feeling guilty. And then the guilt takes over, that you end up phoning them or messaging them and say, actually, I've changed my mind, I can do that. And here we go again into that never-ending hamster wheel of you pleasing everybody else to the detriment of your own well-being. Maybe you worry about what other people would think about you if you said, actually, no. Maybe you would start feeling anxious because you worry about what other people's opinions are. Because you lose yourself in that. You lose your true self pleasing others. And you might feel the need to get approval from everyone. You know, that feeling that you're part of this friendship group or whatever group it is, whether it's family, friends, work colleagues. You just want that seal of approval that people like you. So you end up doing all the people pleasing. You end up feeling undervalued and overwhelmed. Do you feel that if you did voice your opinion, or if you shared how you were feeling, that people would think, oh, it doesn't really matter what you think, because their feelings are more important? And if you've noticed that you take on so much more people pleasing activities, you often get to the point where you overcommit yourself, and you take on more than you can handle, because you don't want to disappoint anybody and you don't want to let them down. But you know, you can be a lovely person without being a lovable doormat. You can be a lovely person and a really good friend and a supportive friend if you just learn to look after you first. So setting boundaries for yourself is absolutely beneficial for your own health and well-being, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with you saying, actually, no, I can't do that because I'm busy that night, or I've got so many other things to do. I just couldn't possibly take on anything else, and I'd love to come or whatever, but I just cannot squeeze another event in or push myself over the limit. So no, thanks very much, but I can't make it this time, but I'm sure you'll have a lovely time. Maybe you're the type of person who's constantly apologising. That's another common sign of people pleasing. And maybe you feel guilty because you're having these thoughts of wanting to set boundaries for yourself. But believe me, setting boundaries is absolutely essential for your own health and well-being. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with boundaries. Boundaries set that expectation towards other people about how you expect to be spoken to, how you expect to be treated. You expect your opinions to be valued. You expect to be heard. You don't expect to be everybody's lovable doormat that will just agree to everything everybody else says. If you can recognise yourself in any of those behaviours, then maybe it's time that you start taking baby steps to stop that behaviour and setting some boundaries for yourself. And it might be something really simple. The next time your friend, partner, whoever, work colleague, family member, whoever it is, asks you to do something that you really don't want to do, instead of going along with it, just say something like, I'm not sure I would enjoy that. Oh, you'll love it, comes the answer. Oh, you'll be fine, it'll be great, it'll be great fun, you'll love it. It's not just that, I don't think that's my cup of tea. Oh, don't be boring. And then you end up saying, oh, okay then. But you just say, actually, no, that doesn't interest me. I don't really think I want to do that. But it's obviously you're going to love that. So I can't wait to hear all about it, but it's not for me. You might even, if someone asks you to do something and you're one of these people who just constantly says, oh yeah, no problem. And then when you get home, you worry yourself sick about what kind of excuse you can make up to get yourself out of it. And if that's you, that's a definite sign of people pleasing. Now, people pleasing is, some people really confuse people pleasing with, well, if I don't do that, then people will think I'm a bad person. And it's got nothing to do with that. It's the fact that you've just allowed other people to just expect that you do it and that you won't say no. But just try little tiny baby steps. That's all you can do, is to start. If you recognise that you're a people pleaser, then do some baby steps. And the simple one is, let me get back to you. That date rings a bell with me. Let me get back to you to see if it conflicts with anything else. But that date rings a bell. So I'm not going to say yes at the moment, because I would hate to have to come back and say, actually no, I'm going to have to cancel on you. So just put yourself on the front foot first, instead of agreeing and then being on the back foot and stressing yourself out, wondering about what excuse you could come up with to get out of it. So start developing baby steps for you actually stepping up to the plate and looking after you first. It is not selfish to put yourself first. It's a necessity. If you don't want to be overwhelmed, and don't over promise and over please on other people. It doesn't mean you're a bad person and you're not a good friend and you're not a loving partner and you're not a caring family member. It just means that sometimes you have to say no. You're just spinning so many plates and juggling so many balls in your own busy life that you're not going to take on anyone else's. So just for a simple little baby step, if you're a persistent people pleaser, practice just saying, let me get back to you on that. I don't want to say yes at the moment until I check. Just try it. And the more you do it, the more confident you'll become and the less you will be a people pleaser. Remember, take care of you. Thanks for listening, and thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you've had some mindful moments to take away. So in your mind, something you've learned, in your heart, something you've felt, and for your mindful mum toolbox, something that you can actually take away today. And remember, you can connect with me by tapping on the microphone, send me a message, or visit my website, or connect on social media. I would love to have you join my new community, the Calm Mums Academy. And one last thought for all you mamas out there, remember, you're the best mama for your child, so take good care of you. Until the next time, bye for now.